Thanks everyone for joining this session, which is building and deploying modern data-driven applications with low code. My name is Monica Godoy. I'm product manager for Oracle Application Express. And if you have any questions at any moment, please post those in the Q&A section. Here's the agenda. I'll start by discussing about Oracle Apex and low code. Then I will talk about the Apex service, which is a new way to run your Apex applications. And lastly, I will talk about the new features on Apex 21.1. So let's get started with the Apex overview. Apex is the industry's most used enterprise low-code platform to develop low-code applications. There are more than 50,000 of customers, more than 500,000 of developers, and this is growing every day. So the mission of Oracle Apex is to empower developers to easily build compelling applications with superior functionality, performance, and end user experience. In order to deliver on this mission, Oracle aims to eliminate the enormous complexities of developing and deploying enterprise applications. Here are few reasons why choosing Oracle Apex makes sense for your next development project. The first reason is simple development. Oracle Apex is easy to get started, and the application builder provides a rich browser-based intuitive interface which guides you through the creation of your applications. So the powerful components of Oracle Apex enables you to add a high level of functionality to your applications with limited coding. So many customers can be productive in a week or less. The second reason is powerful and proven. Oracle Apex can be used to build a wide variety of applications for any industry, from the simple application that webifies a spreadsheet to mission-critical applications which are used daily by tens of thousands of users. The third reason is portable. You can run Oracle Apex everywhere, on the Oracle Cloud, on premises, or anywhere else there is an Oracle database. And you can deploy your Oracle Apex applications across any environment with ease. And the last but not the least reason is the community. I think it's one of the most passionate and helpful communities in the industry. So Apex is all about productivity and being able to deliver applications with higher quality for far less cost and faster. The time and motion study made by Peak Solutions finds that developers can build applications 38 times faster with Oracle Apex compared to traditional application development methods. So not only developers can build applications faster, but also they will need to write 100 times less code compared to handcrafted JavaScript, for example. So we really believe that there's a cost associated with every line of code that you write in your applications. So no matter which technology you are using, it can be JavaScript, C# or .NET, there's a cost associated with the development of each line of code. The review, the security, the maintenance of that line of code, and more. So the less code theirs is by definition the less cost, the less technical depth, and the quicker that you are going to be able to create your applications. So what is Oracle Apex? Apex is the low-code application development framework that is part of every Oracle database. So it enables you to easily and quickly build applications that look great on a desktop, on a smartphone, or on a tablet. And you don't need to be an expert in order to build these type of applications. Apex is extraordinarily good at building applications to help you to maintain the data. So if you have a business process that is very much data-driven and you want to build a form on a report, this is a trivial to do it in Apex. So it's also extremely simple to create applications that provide beautiful visualizations against your data. Lastly, if you know a little bit of SQL, Apex is the right platform for you. So rather than you write down a lot of HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, you can do all natively by SQL. And you don't need specializing coding languages to create applications since it leverages SQL skills. Apex applications seem very simple. However, there is a lot that Apex engine does for you under the covers. Apex provides the necessary underlying infrastructure, including the user interface layer, data access, data visualization, security, globalization out of the box, and enterprise-grade performance. So this is why Apex allows you to concentrate on business requirements, not low-level code. So, for example, we just talked about what Apex provides, and the developer simply needs to specify the data source and potentially adjust a few declarative attributes. So all you need to do is define where is your data. Is it local or is it in a remote data source or in your SQL query? So for example, we have this query. It's a simple query to the task table, and the resulting page is responsive, accessible, secure, efficient with respect to the database, and hugely functional. So you are seeing here an interactive grid which allows users to visualize and maintain the data. But there are many other actions that users can do with this type of component, such as filter the data, create aggregations, create charts, download the data. So there are many other features included, not only to visualize and maintain the data. So let's look at some common uses for Apex. The most popular and simple common use is the spreadsheet replacement. People use spreadsheets as multi-user databases, so they can share the file with other team members. And the problem with this is there's not a single source of truth. So instead of sharing a file with Apex, you can convert this spreadsheet into a real application. And you can provide an URL and users can visualize and maintain the data. In addition, you can add visualizations, role-based user authorization, and many other features. So you can start with a small application, but this can grow as you need and can be a powerful application in a short period of time. Apex is commonly used for opportunistic applications, those applications that are immediately needed. So you can deliver an application in days or weeks, and you can easily modify to meet the changing requirements. Apex is also commonly used for Oracle force replacement. So customers don't need to rewrite the business logic that is already in the database. They can reuse all the existing database objects, such as packages, tables, views, procedures that is already in the database. And since forms developers are very fluent in SQL and PSQL, it is an easy transition from forms to Apex. Also, Apex is commonly used for extending enterprise systems, and in order to meet non-standard requirements, improve workflows, or integrate data sources. If you are interested to know why Apex is ideal for forms developers, please read this blog post. You can find this blog post on apex.oracle.com/blog, or you can scan the QR code. So where you can run your Apex applications? Apex is available everywhere. Wherever there is an Oracle database, you can build, run, and deploy low-code applications. So for those who don't know, there are free versions of the Oracle database. So for example, on-premise, there's Oracle Database Express Edition, which you can build, deploy, and run your Apex applications totally free. And in the cloud, there's also a free version called the Oracle Cloud Free Tier, and you can get up to 2 autonomous databases free forever. And please note that these databases also include Oracle Apex. So you can run Apex on premises, on Oracle Cloud, or even other clouds. There are no limits on the number of developers and users applications you can build with Apex. And it is important to highlight that any Apex application that you build on premises, it is going to look and run exactly on the cloud. I also want to share with you that we are honored and grateful with the Apex community because once again, Oracle has been recognized as a customer's choice in the 2021 Gartner Peer Insights Customer's Choice for Enterprise Low-Code Application Platforms. So thanks again for your support. Let's talk about the Oracle Apex application development, also known as the Apex service, which is the fastest, lowest cost way to develop and deploy world-class applications. The Apex service combines Oracle Apex, which is a proven and effective platform for developing applications. It also includes Oracle Autonomous Database, so you can build applications against a wide variety of data types and handle any workload. And your applications will run on Exadata hardware in the Oracle Cloud. Your Apex service can be ready in just a few minutes, and you don't need to be an expert in a vast array of technologies, such as database administration, security, or systems architecture. Oracle will take care of all of it, from configuration, tuning, and backup to patching, encryption, scaling, and more. In that way, you can concentrate on solving business problems. This service automatically scales up and down, supporting dozens to millions of users. The price of the service depends on the resources that you provision, such as the number of CPUs and the storage. Currently, $200 per CPU and $120 per terabyte per month. Each OCPU supports hundreds of thousands of page views per hour, and there are no extra fees per user, per developer, or per application. Also, the Apex service is included in the always free cloud services, and you can try the Apex service on oracle.com/free. So now let's go to the demo. And in this demo, I want to show you how to create the Apex service and how to convert a spreadsheet into a real and functional Apex application. So let's go to that. Okay, so let me go to my Oracle Cloud environment and let's go to the Apex application development. Okay. And let's create a new Apex service. Okay, so basically we need to enter the display name for your service. Configure the Apex service, the number of CPUs, the storage, if you want to check the auto-scaling, and enter the password for your Apex service. And then click Create Apex Service. It will take some minutes in order to create the service. And in the meantime, let me show you the spreadsheet that we are going to convert into an Apex application. So in this Excel file, I have a number of columns. For example, we have here the name of the project, the task name, the start and end date, the status, who is assigned to this task, the cost, and the budget. In the first row, we have the name of the column. And in total, we have 73 rows. Okay, so what we are going to do is to use this data to create a real application. So what Apex is going to do is to create a table with all of these columns and data, and then we are going to create the Apex application. Okay, so let me go to the Apex service. Okay, and now it's available. So let's launch Apex. Okay, so we need to enter the same password that we used to create the Apex service. And now we are going to create a new workspace. Okay, so let's go to create a workspace. Okay, let's sign in that workspace. And we can create the Apex application. And let me go to the app builder where we can create the Apex application. Okay. Let's create a new application. In this case, we are going to use from a file, so we can upload an Excel file, an XML, or a JSON file. And the only thing that we need to do is to drag and drop the file. And now enter the name of the table. Okay, so let's say project. We can see all of the rows here. And let's load the data. Okay, so the table was created with 73 rows, and now we can go to create the Apex application. Okay, so we have the name of the application, we have a number of pages that are suggested by Apex, and we can go to create the application. So this application not only allows users to visualize the data, but also they can maintain the data. They can also create charts in order to review the data in other ways. Okay, so let's run the application. Okay, so this application contains a number of pages. If we go to the dashboard, it contains a number of charts that allows users to understand the data easily. It also contains a facial search that includes a number of faces so users can filter the data easily. Okay, so let's select one, check one of these status. Okay, and you can find the task that you really need to know or to control. And for the interactive report, it's here. We can see all the information, the project, the task name, the status, who is assigned to the task, the cost, and the budget. So we can also work with this data. We can create control breaks, okay? And also we can highlight some rows depending on one specific condition, or we just can download the data in different formats. Okay. And if we want to change the user interface, we can use the theme roller and select a different, or you can work with the properties and change it, the style for your application. Okay, so instead of sharing an Excel file, now you can share the URL file for your application. Okay, and this application is going to be accessible for any device. It can be a desktop, a mobile, or a tablet. Okay, and there are a number of new features, enhancements, and items included in Apex 21.1. Some of them are Maps region allows to display spatial data within your Apex applications. They are powered by Oracle eLocation service, so it's ready to use. And there's another feature new for the new application data loading, and you can easily add data import capabilities to allow users to upload CSV, Excel files, XML, and JSON data formats to your applications. The fixed search also has some enhancements and now supports maps and calendar region types and provides additional end-user flexibility for showing or hiding faces. There are new and improved components such as day picker item, color picker item, and the calendar region. And since 20.1, you can export your applications as a zip file, and now you can import the application export as a zip file as well. And the report printing supports complex text layout languages such as Hero, and Arabic when exporting to PDF. If you wish to try these features today, please go to apex.oracle.com.